What if everything you were taught about money was wrong? Not because your parents lied to you, but because they were never taught either. That's the gut punch at the heart of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, one of the best-selling personal finance books in American history. And it all starts with one man, two fathers, and two completely opposite beliefs about wealth. Robert Kiyosaki grew up with two father figures. His biological father, the poor dad, was a brilliant man, a PhD. He attended Stanford, University of Chicago, Northwestern, full scholarships, one of the most educated men in Hawaii. His best friend's father, the rich dad, never even finished the 8th grade. Here's the wild part. Both worked hard. Both earned decent incomes, but one died leaving tens of millions of dollars to his family and charity, and the other left behind nothing but unpaid bills. Same America, same era, totally different outcomes. So what was the difference? It wasn't luck. It wasn't even intelligence. It was the way they thought about money. Poor dad said, "I can't afford it." Rich dad said, "How can I afford it?" Sound like a small thing, right? But Kiyosaki says that one phrase is the difference between a brain that shuts down and a brain that gets to work. Here's another one. Poor dad said, "Study hard so you can find a good company to work for." Rich dad said, "Study hard so you can find a good company to fly." Poor dad said, "The love of money is the root of all evil." Rich dad said, "The lack of money is the root of all evil." Poor dad said, "I'll never be rich." And guess what? That prophecy came true. Rich dad, even when he was flat broke, would say, there's a difference between being poor and being broke. Broke is temporary. Poor is eternary. Now here's the part that might make you a little uncomfortable. Kiyosaki makes the argument that America's school system, for all its greatness, has a massive blind spot. We teach kids algebra, history, literature. We don't teach them how money actually works. Think about that for a second. We have doctors, lawyers, and accountants, people with decades of education, who are still living paycheck to paycheck. Why? Because having a high income and knowing how to build wealth are two completely different skills. And only one of them is taught in school. Rich dad didn't want Robert to just earn money. He wanted him to understand money, how it moves, how it grows, how it works for a you instead of the other way around. His whole philosophy? I don't work for money. Money works for me. At just 9 years old, Robert made a decision. He was going to follow the rich dad's playbook, not because his biological father was a bad man, but because the financial mindset being modeled for him led somewhere he didn't want to go. It's like the Robert Frost poem Kiyosaki references, "The road not taken, two paths in the woods." Most people take the well-worn one, go to school, get a job, work for someone else, retire, and hope Social Security holds up. Rich dad pointed to the other road. Understand money deeply. Make it work for you. Build assets. Think like an owner, not an employee. Less traveled. Harder at first. But as Frost wrote, that has made all the difference. The rest of the book unpacks 6 core lessons that Rich Dad drilled into Kiyosaki over 30 years, starting when he was 9 and ending when he was 39. Lesson 1. The rich don't work for money. Lesson 2. Why teach financial literacy? Lesson 3. Mind your own business. Lesson 4. The history of taxes and the power of corporations. Lesson 5. The rich invent money. And Lesson 6. Work to learn. Don't work for money. Get that? This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. These are guideposts. Ways of thinking that, if you internalize them, can completely change your financial future. So ask yourself this honestly. Whose voice do you have in your head when it comes to money? Is it someone who said, "We can't afford it," and just left it there? Or is it someone who asked, "How do we make this happen?" Because here's the truth Kiyosaki learned as a kid. Your thoughts about money become your financial reality. And the good news, you can change them at any age. If this made you think, stick around. Because the next 6 chapters, they get even better.